chop and bite, food for fishy. That's you.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Steam Toys 6-inch Sergeant Hound clone action figure. Now I just wanted to actually have a look at this just because it's an oddball and that it's coming from Steam Toys, who usually does the 375 stuff over on AliExpress. Vale's Toy Store usually handles all the 6-inch figures. So there's always been some crossover there between the designs made by Vale's and Steam Toys. They usually within a month of each other will come out with some similar designs. But here we actually have a 6-inch figure coming from Steam Toys. So I don't know what this means going forward, but it's a named clone, it's a canon clone, so I wanted to take the gamble, get it, and show all you guys. So the figure will come in an unsuspecting box just like this. And then the figure just comes in a little plastic baggie. Now for those that are not familiar with AliExpress clones and stuff, that's pretty much how it goes. You're gonna get a little baggie. It's then going to come with the standard clone blaster rifle and the carbine. Now we've seen these a million times. We know what to expect with these. These are Steam Toys ones. They're fairly solid. I mean, they do get warped easily, same as Hasbro, but a little warm water and you'll get that back in shape. It's not too bad. Those are just cast in just black plastic. Now as for Hound himself, okay, honestly, I paid $23 shipped for this. We'll talk about what this body even is in a second, but let's just go over some of these details. So he has the Phase 2 ARF helmet here. It has the teeth marks going through, the red dot on the side, this paint right underneath the visor. The visor itself looks pretty clean as far as the application. And then this stripe goes up underneath, and there is paint underneath here as well. It's a little bit misaligned. If you look at where this comes to a point to where they continued painting underneath, but that could be a matter of the actual this top visor piece could be slightly warped, or they glued it on a little off center, you know. So we have this antenna. It's very bendable. When it first came, it was like completely bent backwards like this. It's kind of making its way. Again, some hot water, and you can mold that yourself. Coming around the back edge of the helmet, this is painted up under here with a gray, and then there's a gray arrow pointing down on the back side of the helmet. If you know what Hasbro's been doing with clones lately, it's nice to see that these details are there. Now, the helmet itself is removable. You have this little clone head underneath. Seen that a bunch of times too. Nothing new there. It's a tight fit on this helmet. It's kind of nice. He's not a chinner. If you look at the new Hasbro Phase 2 ARF that's coming with the ATRT, you can see that chin like crazy. But here we have a head that's painted white, and you can't. Like, this is straight on, and even at an angle, you got to come all the way under here to actually see where that chin of the helmet is underneath. So that's pretty nice. I like that. The shoulder pad, we have a shoulder antenna. I've never seen this particular shoulder pad from a let's say custom from China. So we have that, and then down here you have his emblem, which is the massive there on the shoulder pad. Now this bicep, the paint application on the stripes is, as you can tell, misaligned. It's kind of overlapping itself. You look on the back, it's overlapping itself again. Now I did reach out to Steam Toys about this. They offered me to send a whole new arm with a corrected paint application with my next order, or take a partial refund, which I did. So I got a partial refund the same day that I contacted them about it. Again, $23. I'm not so unhappy. I'll go in here, I'll clean this up myself. It's not a big deal. But for some of you, just kind of know what to expect when you're going this route with these figures. So the next thing is the paint application here on this. Now this is a overlay. This is similar to the 3.0 body clone trooper. So this whole chest piece is an overlay. It is slightly warped, and then if you look where the paint application is, the gray does not come all the way to the edge. On this side it does come all the way to the edge, but then here along the bottom side you can see that they didn't come all the way down here on the chest with the gray. So that's just something that's slightly off. This arm, the paint application on the bicep looks great. Shoulder pad looks great. The shoulder pad is, again, it's 3.0 body, so this can swivel all the way around. And then we have the comma. It is a solid plastic comma, and it has the red application here. And we can look at this all the way around, and I think that looks pretty freaking good. To be nitpicky, we can come in here. Went a little bit over where this edge is just white piping. This red came a little bit over, and then back here, this one, it's kind of misaligned a little bit where there's a gap of white, but that you're really not even going to pick up. Coming down to the legs, this kind of makes me think of the new Hasbro Thorn, where we don't have any application on the legs. They actually do give him his gray stripes here on his thighs. And then these knee pads, unlike Thorn, are not red for some random reason. They are white, and they are free floating knee pads. They'll get completely out of the way. So you have a 3.0 Sergeant Hound. He does not come with a massive, unfortunately. Now the 375 version that they sell of him does come with the massive, so maybe that's something that Steam Toys will add to the store coming up here. I did, while communicating with them for the messed up paint on the bicep, they told me that there's actually going to be a wave 2 of Camino Security coming to Steam Toys. So I'm not sure what's all going on with Steam Toys and with Veils, and why we might be getting these from Steam Toys as opposed to Veils, and why it isn't the newer JOV mold. Let's see if I can get him to actually stand straight. I don't know why that is, and I'm gonna bring this in. This is the Veils JOV mold body. So there's double jointed arms in here. There's a lot of little updates that they did, so these have a lot of range of movements. They have alt hands, all that fun stuff. But this is from Veils. Someone asked me before if the grays of these match, because they were thinking about swapping over the head and the comma, and you might be able to get away with that. The grays, I don't know how much you're gonna be able to pick it up here. Sergeant Hound's gray is slightly darker than the Veils Camino Security. I don't have the Hasbro Camino Security to compare it against, so I don't have that ready to go. I do have to show you, this is a Hasbro 2.0, so you know, the chest overlay on this is not so large, and oddly enough, the shoulder pads of Hound don't seem to be any larger. In fact, they almost look to be the same size as the 2.0, which is kind of weird, because the 2.0 still has these smaller shoulder pads. They aren't free floating, they're actually attached right there. And this is not a overlay, this is a solid plastic. So that's the Hasbro 2.0, and then I'm actually going to bring you a Hasbro 3.0. This is the Commander Apo. It's just a 501st. So these shoulder pads are what's on the new 3.0, and they are slightly larger, which is weird again. And then even that torso overlay looks a little slimmer, just barely. But I don't think you're gonna have a problem posing this guy with any of your Hasbro clones at all. I'm gonna grab one more figure just for a comparison, and that is the guys that we actually see Sergeant Hound with. I forgot to mention he does come with the blasters, the ARC Trooper little blaster pistols. He does have those as well, and they come out of the holster and you can use those. The nice thing with it being 3.0 is you have 2 trigger fingers, so if you want to use those 2 blasters, you can, and it's actually a trigger finger, which is cool. Hasbro ARC Trooper mold, they still haven't done it. And then we just have, this is from Hasbro. This is not a Veils, this is not a custom. This is just with the pauldron removed. This is the Hasbro, I think it's Bad Batch Shock Trooper. And I mean, you be the judge, but I think the reds are pretty comparable there. I think they look pretty freaking good next to one another. That's just me. Let me know what you think, guys. I think for the money, this is a really cool character. Maybe Hasbro gets around to doing him sometime soon, now that they're doing some of these named individual clones, but I figured for the money, let me just take a shot, roll the dice, get a cool figure for the shelf, and in the long run, if Hasbro does it and it's better, awesome. You can always upgrade. But anyway, that's the video, guys. Take care.